you look at all of this and say, is that the God you want me to comment on? Or is there some other God? Typically, it's the Judeo-Christian blend there. In that context, I would say in my studies of the universe, I value evidence, and I don't see evidence for any kind of active intelligence or power over anything.
Yeah.
But if you had evidence, show it to me. I'm all in.
Well, there is evidence for God, and it's well known. It's readily available. There are books published on it. There's hundreds of YouTube videos on it. And I respect Neil deGrasse's right to look at that evidence and to reject it as invalid. But I question his implication. There just isn't even any evidence to even consider, which I don't understand. So I went on ChatGPT and I just asked my good friend ChatGPT if it would list the major reasons, both scientific and philosophical, for the existence of God, just to see what it would say. Here's the list that it came up with. Under scientific arguments for the existence of God. Number 1, the fine-tuning of the universe for life, sometimes called the anthropic principle. Number 2, the cosmological argument from the Big Bang, sometimes called the Kalam cosmological argument. Number 3, the origin of life argument. Number 4, intelligent design in biological systems. Number 5, mathematical order and rationality in nature. Number 6, quantum mechanics and the role of consciousness. Number 7, the law of physics. Then it listed the philosophical arguments, the major philosophical arguments for the existence of God. The contingency argument, the moral argument, the argument from free will, the ontological argument, the argument from reason, the argument from consciousness, the argument from beauty, the argument from religious experience. And there's many others. There's at least 25 major arguments for the existence of God and many other less important ones. And when you look at it all, the accumulative case for the existence of God, I think it's overwhelming. I think it points to the existence of God without doubt, or at least beyond a reasonable doubt. Again, I respect Neil deGrasse Tyson's right to look at all these arguments and evidences and say, I reject them all, and explain to us, if he wants, what's wrong with them all. But I don't think he has a right to imply that there is nothing out there, as if it's all nonsense. I mean, some of the people who looked at the arguments and for the existence of God include people whom he would greatly respect. Scientists like Copernicus, Galileo, Kepler, Descartes, Pascal, Boyle, Ray, Linnaeus, Euler, Cuvier, Buckland, Faraday, Lyell, Miller, Agassiz, Joule, Mendel, Pasteur, Kelvin, Maxwell, Hertz, and many others. All of these scientists just believed in God on purely subjective, non-evidential reasons and basis. They just felt God existed. They never gave a thought to all of the science behind this universe and asked, does it point towards God or away from God? And that's all that I would ask of Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's easy to just brush them off and say there's no evidence, that no intelligent person would even consider this. It's easy to say, well, look at all the listing on the many gods that people have believed in over the years, including Zeus and Poseidon and the others. But as he points out himself, the major argument that's taking place right now is concerning the God of the Bible, the self-revelation of God in the Bible. And all of these scientists that I listed identified as Christians. That's the issue, and that's the issue we should be discussing. And on the negative side, yes, we have the problem of evil. It's an argument against the existence of God. I think it can be answered, but it is a difficult question. But we also have to acknowledge that there are positive reasons for the existence of God. Now, you could take any one of that long list of scientific and philosophical reasons for the existence of God listed by ChatGPT, and you could point at one of them, say, I don't agree with that, I disagree with that one. But just like in a court of law, you have to look at the whole story and pass judgment on the full case. The accumulative case for the existence of God is extremely strong. You also have to consider with many of these arguments, what's the alternative? If God isn't the originator of this universe, who or what is? If God didn't create life on the earth, how did it come about? Science doesn't know. People say, well, there was the Miller-Urey experiment in 1953 was published. He almost proved that life just comes about. He didn't. He proved that amino acids will come about under certain circumstances which were very favorable to his desired outcome. Even Miller himself said, we really don't know what the nature of the earth was in those times. And virtually no progress has been made in taking it the next steps, because the more science learns about life, the more complex and difficult the problem becomes. I say all this to you to just encourage you, look at the full case for the existence of God, and don't allow the problem of evil, which I think can be answered, to determine your choice as to whether to believe in God or not. I am not calling upon you to just believe in God or just do it because I say so or anything like that. I'm saying look at the full case for the existence of God. Look at the problem of evil, but also look at the scientific and philosophical arguments in favor of the existence of God. Hope you'll join our discussion. We're just getting started. It's going to be going for about a year. We're going to look at all the elements leading to a proposed solution to the problem of evil. Subscribe and follow along. Please encourage others to join us. Thanks for listening.